Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite Creator. And I continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings from the universe and from the neighborhood. Hey, Isby. Hi, Barry. Okay. Um, I'm late taking my meds, so y'all gonna just have to wait a minute. I gotta. I'm 2 hours late. 2 hours late in taking my second dose of medicines. Hey, Alex. So y'all just have to put up with me a minute. I know you have my my health and my best interest, or something like that. These are my one times a day. I take them in the evening. Some of these meds, oh my God, the cost of these things are just what the hell. Of these medicines are like $1,000 per month. It's like for $1,000, you'd think I'd get a year's supply or something. Jules, how are you? Susie Q, Chloe, how are you? Hang on, let me swallow these three. For those of you just caught up, I'm taking my evening meds. I went to the doctor today and was fitted with this device here. It does a radio telemetry to a cell phone that's sitting over there, and via Bluetooth. And so I'll be on this monitor for 30 days, which I'm grateful for because, they sent me home without this. And what the doctor said was like, no, most patients with your condition, they send you home from the hospital with one of these things. So I've been here at home for the last 2 weeks ish without any kind of monitor except my own monitoring. And so far, so good. My blood pressure's been good. My um, pulse, which is the most important thing, is for me to not get too excited to where my heart goes bitterly, bitterly. And that's what makes it want to go into this anti-fib thingy, which is not good for me and my heart. So, but anyway, I have been doing several things around the house, and and then coming in and sitting down, and then checking and seeing what my pulse rate is. And today was the highest that I went to town and came home with groceries and stuff, and my heart rate was up to my pulse rate was at 72, and I checked it about 30 minutes later, and it was like 60, 62. It had dropped. So I've checked my pulse rate, and it's been 42. So um, my heart was racing because I was doing stuff this afternoon, but as soon as I sat down and calmed down a little bit, it dropped right down. So um, I can't ask for anything more or better or whatever. I'm grateful for all the doctors and nurses who have helped me get to this point. I'm grateful to those of you, for Steve, for sending me that, cuff thing in the mail. I thank all of you for all the prayers that you sent me to get well, and for healing and so forth. And I can tell that they're there, and I appreciate it. I do. Um, and I must be reminded that, you know, I was on a tirade there a couple of weeks ago about you lied to me. Wait, is this two for two? Yeah. I'm still taking my rest of my meds, so hang on. I don't want to mess up. And Barry reminded me today. I want to blame it on him. Hey Tracy, I miss anybody else? And I'm gonna shut up about this here in a minute. As soon as I get done taking the rest of my meds, I got one more to go. Oh, and my one at bedtime. Hang on. Okie doke. Now, if in an hour, if I start, if I start getting sleepy and go and be nodding off to the side, that's kind of what happens when I take my meds. Okay, everybody. Tracy, how are you? Jeannie, you Greenie, Houdini, how? It's good to see y'all. Storm's messing up. All right, let me get the cards. I kind of put everything up, kind of. It was interesting that the synchronicity that Robert and I had tonight with the Hiawatha and the red coat thingy. That was uh, that was interesting, and that we've both had similar um, dreams recently of doing card readings. So the synchronicity in that. For whatever reason, Robert and I have had. Oh my God! It is that time. Hang on, Tracy. I'm since I've had my meds. Chloe, you're working, right? Is that true? Hey, Jules. Well, here's my 20 mark. I have to be very careful. Well, that's good, Chloe. Hey, Michelle, how are you? It's good to see y'all. I mean, honest. It's just good to see y'all. I'm glad for you to see me, you know. So, but I'm have been to the doctor. I'm on this little telemetry device for the next 30 days. And I'm going to talk about this for just a minute because some of you just caught up. But the the nurse lady's like, you can wear this even when you're going swimming. But now this little device over here, this it's a cell phone that's hooked up to this. It's hooked up to them, right? So they can monitor me. And but it has to be 20 feet away from you. And I'm like, now, ma'am, no offense, but if I'm even in a swimming pool and you were on a heart monitor. Hey, Richard, how are you? That they were saying that you have to stay within 20 feet of the cell phone. So I'm like, no offense, if I'm swimming in a pool or out, I'm thinking out in the river, right? The my cell phone's up on the beach, so it ain't getting wet because can't get it wet. But I can go swimming. I'm gonna be a lot further than 20 feet away from the cell phone. Oh, well, but in that case, it's okay. Well, but you told me not to go further than 20 feet. I should wear it on my belt. I should carry it with me wherever I go. Oh, well, it will record and then and it'll be okay. Everybody, let's, Bob, help Barry out tonight now. Okay. We know you can do it. Is that my scar showing through? I was bitten by a boxer, a dog, when I was younger that bit my lip all the way through and scratched me down both sides of my face, just chomped onto my mouth. And I didn't like dogs for quite a while. Yeah, it hurt. But, Duggar ain't that kind of dog. When the visiting nurse was here, Duggar's got a couple of toys, right? They're stuffed animals. Well, he's got this purple monkey from the local place, um, Wild Adventures down in Valdosta. And so he goes out to meet the car because he's just barking and jumping and he likes, but he's carrying this purple monkey. So the nurse gets out and she tells me, she goes, I knew it was safe to get out of my car when I heard that dog, but when I seen the purple monkey, how many people are bitten by a dog by dogs who carry purple monkeys, kind of thing. Universe. Yeah, you have. I don't mean to be rude, but you got to get in line, and I'm not keeping up with the line at the moment. But yes, you can. Right now, I'm just taking a break and just catching up with y'all, and having my 420 at 12:27. I'm glad you got to hang out with all of us tonight too, Jules. I like to be the instigator of hanging out, I guess. Meeps go, living the dream. um, yeah, I have to cut back. So Barry was in early and asked me, and I think Chloe was second. Um, I'm going to try um, to keep the reading as briefs. That's a good one. As briefs as possible, because sometimes some of these readings on the links or whatever, it gets a little lengthy with some stuff, and I want to go like to the heart of it. So I'm probably going to skip some stuff because it just gets lengthy and it keeps me from doing more readings. Okay, so I ain't going to leave nothing out, and I keep touching my dead gum chest because this thing is, I stayed wired for a week with a bunch of them all over my chest. It didn't bother me, but this one up here, I keep wanting to. Hey, what's this? I keep wanting to tap on it. Yeah, I won't leave anything out. Okay, as far as what the reading is. So I got me cards here, and my dear friend Miss Christine, and I know I've talked about this before, but she sent me these cards years ago. And I had to remind her recently that, hey, you're the one that sent me these cards. And I've been doing readings for folks on the internet. And I just want to thank you. And she was like, me? Oh, yeah. Oh, really? So seriously, um, there are things that she just gave away to me, thought I could use them. And I'd done some work for them on a house down in Tallahassee, and they moved. And I didn't quite get all the money I should have for it, but she sent me the cards. So how is the list going, Barry and Chloe? So Barry, you're first. All right, I'm going to get right to you. Oh, thank you, Jules. Well, um, here you go, Barry. I shuffled the cards several times and gave him the old 1 2. And number 33, you're a weasel. Pulled the weasel card. I pulled the weasel card. Um, I'm sorry, I just made me giggle. Richard, personally, Robert and I were talking about it, and I think Barry and I have talked about it. I've talked with other folks that do card readings, and there are those card readings where people shuffle the cards and then just deal off the top of the deck. In that, I don't think there's near as much direct contact as me literally flipping through the cards and feeling this one being hot or different than the others, and it says pick me. And I think that's more direct. So I believe, Richard, that it's how you choose them. But everyone that I've talked to that uses their feelings, say it's a gut feeling, you feel this card and it's like, yeah, that's the one. What about this one or that one? Nah. So those folks, and I used to do these, okay, readings before where you just shuffle the cards and you did the first one goes here, the next one, and you lay them out in a pattern. So that to me is too random for the universe. Now, not that the universe can't stack the deck and that there aren't good readings there, but I'm saying personally, as far as choosing the card, that's more random. Okay, that's my 10 cents. I'm a moose and an owl and a coyote is the card you. Oh, really? Okay, so 33, weasel, stealth, stealth. I gotta, I got, I can't read. I gotta have my. I got 3 pairs of glasses. I keep breaking the frames that are sitting here with glue trying to dry, and these are broken again. Um, I got a fat head. Weasel, weasel, weasel. Who's in the hen house now? If I were to ask you, you'd say it was the cow. So weasel is stealth, and weasel has an incredible amount of energy and ingenuity. Yet it is a difficult power totem to have. It is not without significance that ermine or weasel pelt is worn by royalty. Weasel ears hear what is really being said. This is a great ability. Weasel eyes see beneath the surface of a situation to know the many ramifications of an event. This too is a rare gift. The chiefs sent Weasel to the enemy camp to smoke them for power. What are the medicines of the enemy? The chief would ask the Weasel upon its return. Weasel never failed to give an accurate account of the enemy's numbers, strengths, and its weaknesses. It was Weasel who tearfully told the original people of the coming of the white boat people. These brothers have strange new medicines, said the Weasel. They will tell us that to live the way we do is wrong. They will confuse us with their talking bark paper. They have stolen thunder from the Sky Father and placed it in their weapons. They have no respect for animal brothers and sisters, and they make their thunder speak to the animals and kill them. They will make the thunder speak to us also. Their numbers are too many to count, and these white brothers will steal everything from us but our spirits. The great dark shadow of the ravenous bird of death has fallen over the people. Weasel fur changes colors with the season. Silent Weasel has many lessons to teach you. Weasel could confound the Great Spirit, pick Great Spirit's pockets, and then leave Great Spirit contemplating the eternal navel. If this is your personal medicine, you have keen powers of observation. You seem to be saying, "Leave me alone and I will do the same for you." You might even look a bit guilty at times due to what you know from observing life in general. Look to weasel power to tell you the hidden reasons behind anything. Some people are put off by weasel medicine, talent, and their abilities, but there are no bad medicines. We all have power, or we would not be here to heal Mother Earth. Did y'all hear that? We all have power, or we would not be here to heal Mother Earth. Perhaps if you have weasel power, you could use your secret gifts for the good of all. Observe who or what needs attention or a solution and offer your assistance in your own quiet or discreet way. And Barry, I think you do that, but that goes for everybody. Look to weasel power to tell you the hidden reasons behind anything. Okay, so um, there didn't seem to be another card with that, and I'm going to stick with the primary card so I can do more folks. If there's two cards, I'll do them, all right? So I'm not trying to be cheap, but there's a lot to be in these readings sometimes. Um, okay, oh, Chloe's next. All right, right, and then I forget. So, for those of you, I'm thinking I'm asking, um, should I shuffle, like split them and shuffle, or should I just, you know, just kind of do this number and shuffle them this way? Oh, then Alex, right? Yeah, is be put yourself in line, okie doke. Okay, Chloe. So I'm just going through the cards like this, thumbing through them, but I got my fingers underneath that are feeling the cards. So I'll go by, and sometimes I go, wait a minute, I'll have to shuffle back through, and like I'm doing right now, it's like I might have missed one. Okay, Chloe, here's one I know I haven't pulled in a while, and forgive me if I take a break along in this. I wanted to just kind of hang out without any kind of particular anything to do or say, but pulling cards is a good way. Number 16, Raven. I got to do my double glasses. Raven is magic, black as pitch, mystical as the moon. Speak to me of magic. I will fly with you soon. Throughout time, Raven has carried the medicine of magic. This has been true in many cultures across the planet. It is sacred in the medicine ways to honor Raven as the bringer of magic. If the magic is bad medicine, the carrier may be honored out of fear rather than out of respect. Those who fear Raven do so because they have been dabbling in areas in which they had no knowledge, and a spell may have backfired on them. Rather than analyzing the dark side of sorcery, realize that you will fear Raven only if you need to learn about your inner fears or your self created demons. Self created demons. Don't forget that. Raven magic is a powerful medicine that can give you the courage to enter the darkness of the void, which is the home of all that is not yet in form, the great mystery. The void is called the great mystery. The great mystery existed before all other things came into being. Now, this is important for all y'all to understand. The great void um, is the great mystery, and it existed before all other things came into being. Great Spirit lives inside the void and emerged from the great mystery. Raven is the messenger of the void, the messenger. If Raven appears in your spread, you're about to experience a change in consciousness. Hang on, Chloe. This may involve walking inside the great mystery on another path at the edge of time. In other words, a path that you just never seen coming, you're going to walk it. It will pretend a signal brought by the raven that says, you have earned the right to see and experience a little more of life's magic. Doesn't mean you have to live there. They're going to give you a preview. Raven's color is the color of the void, the black hole in space that holds all the energy of the creative source. All of the energy of the creative source. You know, the universe is not empty or void, it's full of all kinds of stuff. So, the great mystery existed before all other things came into being. In native teachings, the color black means many things, but it does not mean evil. Black can mean the seeking of answers in the void, or the road of the spiritual, or the non physical. The blue black of Raven contains an iridescence that speaks of the magic of darkness and a changeability of form and shape that brings an awakening in the process. Ooh, this is a long one. Raven is the guardian of ceremonial magic and in absentia in healing. So, in any healing circle, Raven is present. Raven guides the magic of healing and the change in consciousness that will bring about a new reality and dispel disease. Hey, Genevieve, how are you? Raven brings in the new state of wellness from the void of great mystery and the field of plenty. Raven guides the magic of healing. So, you want to send a prayer to somebody? Ask Raven, and it will help to dispel the disease or the illness. Raven brings in the new state of wellness from the void of the great mystery. Raven is the messengers that carries all energy flows of ceremonial magic between the ceremony itself and the intended destination. For instance, if a ceremony is being performed to send energy to a disaster area where people need courage and strength, Raven would be the courier for that energy flow. The intention could be to allow the people of the devastated area to feel the concern and the support of the participants in the ceremony. If you have chosen Raven, magic is in the air. Do not try to figure it out. You cannot. It is the power of the unknown at work, and something special is about to happen. The deeper mystery, however, is how you will respond to the sparkling synchronicity of this alchemical moment. How you will respond. Will you recognize it and use it to further enhance your growth? Can you accept it as a gift from the Great Spirit? Or will you limit the power of the great mystery by trying to explain it away? Remember, this magic moment came from the void of darkness, and the challenge is to bring it to light. In doing so, you will have honored the magician within. Now, that's some powerful stuff right there. So, and that is for you, Miss Chloe. Alex, I think you're next in line. Um, yeah, but remember also too that in healing and messages, and messengers, to Raven, have brought a lot of stuff to the native peoples. He was the bringer of good and bad things. We unfortunately had to tell of the bad shit that was coming. But sometimes you need to hear the bad stuff. I mean, I needed to find out about my heart attack so I could, treat myself better and understand it and learn to live with it versus just, you know, not so much that my lifestyle was so bad, but now that I know that I have had, severe heart loss, I'm going to be more careful in certain instances and things so I can hang around a little longer. That knowledge is helpful, you know? So, Alex is next, right? There are always messages in this for everybody. So, Alex, this is for you. Wow, there's quite a few that want to light up. Horse. Alex is horse. But it's upside down. That doesn't necessarily mean anything bad, but horse upside down. Number 35. And I almost went right to the page. Oh, yeah. Mighty horse, power to run across the open plains, or to bring the vision of the shields dancing in purple dream rain. Horse is power. Stealing horses as stealing power was a statement made frequently in historical Native America and a reference to the esteemed role which horse played in the native cultures. Horse is a physical power and an unearthly one. In shamanic practices throughout the world, horse enables shamans to fly through the air and reach heaven. Humanity made it a great leap forward when horse was domesticated, a discovery akin to that of fire. Before horse, Humans were earthbound and heavy laden, and slow creatures indeed. Once humans climbed on horses' back, they were as free and fleet as the wind. They could carry burdens for great distances with ease. Through the special relationship with horse, humans altered their self conception beyond measure. Horse was the first animal medicine of civilization. Humanity owes an incalculable debt to horse and to the new medicine it brought. Now, Dreamwalker, a medicine man, was walking across the plains to visit the Arapaho Nation. He carried with him his pipe. The feather tied into his long black hair pointed to the ground, marking him as a man of peace. Over the rise of a hill, Dreamwalker saw a herd of wild mustangs running towards him. Black Stallion approached and asked if he was seeking an answer on his journey. Black Stallion said, I am from the void, where the answer lies, where those answers live. Ride on my back and know the power of entering the darkness and finding the light. Dreamwalker thanked Black Stallion and agreed to visit him when his medicine was needed in the dream time. Yellow Stallion appeared and approached Dreamwalker next and offered to take him to the east, where illumination lives. Dreamwalker could share the answers he found there to teach and illuminate others. But once again, Dreamwalker thanked Yellow Stallion and said he would use these gifts of power on his journey. Red Stallion approached. Rearing playfully, he told Dreamwalker of the joys of balancing work and heavy medicine with the joy and the experiences of play. He reminded Dreamwalker that he could better hold the attention of those he taught when humor was integrated with the lesson. Dreamwalker thanked him and promised to remember the gift of joy. Dreamwalker was nearing his destination. The Arapaho Nation was close at hand. White Stallion came to the front of the herd. Dreamwalker mounted White Stallion's back. White Stallion was the message carrier for all of the other horses and represented wisdom in power. This magnificent horse was the embodiment of the balanced medicine shield. No abuse of power will ever lead to wisdom, said the wild White Stallion. You, Dreamwalker, have made this journey to heal a brother in need, to share the sacred pipe, and to heal the Mother Earth. You have the knowledge through your humility that you are an instrument of the Great Spirit. Now remember that each one of you is an instrument of Great Spirit. Don't forget that. As I care, you have the knowledge through humility that you are an instrument of the Great Spirit. As I carry you upon my back, you carry the needs of the people on yours. In wisdom, you understand that power is not given lightly, but awarded to those who are willing to carry responsibility in a balanced, sacred manner. Dreamwalker the shaman had been healed by the visit of the wild horses and knew that his purpose in coming to the Arapaho was to share these gifts with them. In understanding the power of horse, you may see how to strive for a balanced medicine shield. Now, it was upside down, okay? If your ego has gotten in the way, you have failed to notice the lack of respect you have been receiving from others. You may, on the other hand, be struggling with others who are abusing their power. Should I say something? Should I fight my desire to put them in their place? You may be asking yourself. Remember the times in your own life when you have fallen out of grace with the Great Spirit, and then have compassion for brothers and sisters who are now doing the same thing. If you are overpowering another or feeling overwhelmed, horse medicine, both the dignified and contrary positions, is a simple reminder of how to balance your shields. So, Alex, balance is the key. In allowing all pathways to have equal validity. Now, this is important for everybody to understand. In allowing all pathways to have equal validity, you will see the power and the glory of the unified family of humanity. This is the gift of the rainbow warrior or warrioress. The eye has no place in this whirling rainbow that comes from the Great Spirit and is replaced by the universal we. All colors of the rainbow and all pathways are honored as one. Apply this knowledge and reclaim the power you have given away by forgetting to come from compassion, or perhaps untangle yourself from any present situation and understand that every human being must follow this pathway to power before galloping upon the winds of destiny. Interesting. Jules is next. Okay, I need to take a quick, I need something to drink. The cards always seem to have good messages. So even the horse in the upside down position is dignified, you know. Oh, you were whale. I kind of sort of remember that, Richard, the whale song, and that each of us need our own, our own voice. I think that's whale. With a silent compassion, Alex, because when we recognize all paths, some of them we don't really like, okay? But we have to recognize them anyway. And there are times when there are things that some people have done or do that just want to grate your last nerve. But they're trying, they're struggling, they're looking, and you got to give them credit for that, even though it just grates your last nerve. I think that's where Ant comes in as far as patience is concerned, for the message for all of us. I am itching all over, and I have not had my face cream, so I beg your forgiveness for a couple more minutes because I can't do this with the itching that's going on. It's driving me bonkers, and I can't hold still or concentrate because it's just itching so bad. It's the inhaler stuff that I'm taking, um, the treatment for my COPD and other issues. Um, but it's got my eyes itching, my eyebrows itch, and this is supposed to be a 10-hour anti-itch cream, extra super duper strength. It'll last for maybe an hour, maybe, and it never really stops itching. Um, I was using hemorrhoidal cream the other day. I was using butt cream. And then when I was at the store the other day, I picked up different styles and types to do like a test, and I've got some others. It's like a clear um, calamine lotion. It smells just like calamine lotion, but it's clear. I'm still rubbing because I'm it's my form of scratch. Uh, it's been driving me nuts. Wake up in the middle of the night just clawing at my face. You know, please go away. Please quit. Please quit. So there's been with the with the heart attack stuff. uh, that like the scratching and the itching and the extra peeing and bowel movement stuff. Oh my goodness, it's just stuff. Why are some of you folks being held for review? I don't. That don't make sense. Which moon have you haven't done nothing or said nothing that would put you in review? Hmm. I'm a fan of calendula. Jules, I don't know if I've ever heard of that. Is it like calamine? I've got this other one. I was just I'm testing them out. Okay, I done forgot already. Who's next? I forgot already. Chamomile. Okay, Jules is next, right? I was wondering. Okay, before I was so rudely interrupted. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Oh, oatmeal. Yeah. Um, Jules, this card is for you. Um, it's mouse number 20, and it's right side up. Let's see if I can remember. I think it's scrutiny. I was right. Yay, team. Mouse, if I could see the world through your tiny eyes, maybe then I would know how to scrutinize. Every detail carries weight, and true to its purpose, has its perfect puzzle place to stop the three-ring circus. Steve, how are you? Mouse says I will touch everything with my whiskers in order to know it. Paradoxically, this is both a great power and a great weakness. It's good medicine to see things up close. It's good medicine to pay attention to detail. But it is bad medicine to chew every little thing to pieces. Details, details. Mouse has many predatory enemies, including birds and snakes and cats. Since mouse is a food for many, it has a highly developed sense of danger at every turn. So called civilized is a highly complex set of components which calls for more and more uh, organizational skills and scrutiny to detail every year. Mouse is a powerful medicine to have in these modern times. Things that might appear insignificant to others take on enormous importance to mouse. Mouse people anger many other medicine types because they appear to be nitpickers. Mouse people will spot the lint on your coat even if it matches in colors. Um, they are fixated on methodology. They sort and categorize and file away for later use. They may seem like they are hoarding, but this is the farthest thing from Mouse's mind. They are merely putting everything in order so that they will be able to explore it more carefully at a later date. The chiefs tell us that without mouse medicine, there would be no systemization of knowledge. The mouse ended the Renaissance man and hearkened the age of specialization. Mouse knew from the very beginning that there is always more to learn. One can always delve deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Some rabbit holes never end. If your personal medicine is mouse, you may be fearful of life, but very well organized, with a compartment for everything. If mouse is in your card spread, its medicine is telling you to scrutinize. Look at yourself and others carefully. Maybe that big hunk of cheese is sitting on a trigger that could spring a deadly trap. Maybe the cat is in the pantry waiting for you. Maybe someone to whom you have delegated authority, such as a doctor, a lawyer, or even a plumber, is not doing their job faithfully. The message is to see what is right before your eyes and to take action accordingly. So to scrutinize whatever it may be, it could be a contract, it could be, a neighbor, it could be just scrutinize. Okay. Hey, brother Steve, since you got here, it resonates a lot. Oh, cool beans, Jewel. Steve, and for those of you late, I am fitted with a monitor for the next 30 days. I'm wearing it now. And so I've been to the doctor, and my heart's doing as good as possible under the circumstances. And thank Steve for my blood pressure thingy. And we'll see how the next 30 days go. I was at the doctor today. Me and Duggar went into town by myself. I drove myself. We went to the store afterwards, and so I'm trying to get back to normal. And I just want to tell y'all thank you. And you know, I'm being monitored. I'll have to go plug in that cell phone thingy. You must leave it plugged in all night long. Okay, calm down. Oh, thank you, Chloe. Susie is next. I'm like, holy crap. Who'd you say was next? Please don't let me forget again. It's Susie. See, my nose is itching so bad I can't stop. It's hard. It's really hard. All right. Susie Q. I'm using the book to shuffle on. Shuffle off the buffalo. Golly Moses. Ah, no. Hmm. All righty. Good. Finally had a cool day. Hey, Tracy B. It's always a pleasure to. I've not ever seen you, but it's always a pleasure to see you as well. Now, here's two interesting cards that were sort of like they had traces of being hot and elk and moose, but the main card is dog. So, number 14. It was interesting. I don't know. I was going through the headlines of all the YouTube pages and stuff today, and I can't remember. Oh, put your feet on the ground and ground yourselves, and how important it is. And it was one of these with like 100,000 subscriber folks, and I was like, y'all are just getting this. I mean, their channel's been around for a while, but they're finally telling people to go outside barefoot. Like, come on, duh. Instead of using some kind of special rock, or you got to have a pyramid. Take your shoes and socks off and go stand on the ground. Get up, please. Um, I just found it like they were touting it like the miracle cure. If you're under stress, go outside barefoot and put your feet and ground yourself. Well, yeah, come on, you um, you new age bunch of hippie folks. Like, please, yes. Okay, all right, okay, Susie. Here comes dog is loyalty. You're supposed to eat a little dirt mud pies. Dog, you are so noble until the bitter end. Your medicine is the teaching of true and loyal friends. Dog is loyalty. All of the Southwest and Plains Indians tribes had dogs. These noble animals would often give warning signals of approaching danger. They helped in the hunt and were a great source of warmth on long winter nights. Since the canine tribe has many breeds, early Indian dogs were usually half wild. This wildness, however, never divested the owners of their dogs and their innate loyalty. Dog has been considered the servant of humanity throughout history. If a person carries dog medicine, he or she is usually serving others or humanity in some way. Here you will find the charity worker, the philanthropist, the nurse, the counselor, the minister, and the soldier. Dog was the servant soldier that guarded the tribe's lodges from surprise attacks. Dog is a medicine that embodies the loving gentleness of best friend and the half wild protector energy of territorial imperative. Boy, that's territorial imperative. It's like, come in my yard, sucker. Like Anubis, the jackal dog protector of Egypt, dog is a guardian. Throughout history, dog has been the guardian of hell, as well as of ancient secrets, hidden treasures, and babies. While mothers were cooking or in the fields, dog honors it. The dog used to watch out and guard the babies. Dog honors its gifts and is loyal to the trust placed in its care. In examining dog medicine, you might find that you have found personal memories of owning and loving a dog. The message that dogs are trying to give you is that you must delve deeply into your sense of service to others. Canines are genuinely service oriented animals, unlike cats, and are devoted to their owners with a sense of loyalty that supersedes how they are treated. Dog medicine asks you to look at how readily your sense of loyalty is countermanded by your need for approval. Dog medicine asks you to look at how readily your sense of loyalty is countermanded by your need for approval. In other words, you might continue to work for someone who treats you badly, as some dog owners have done, but you keep working because you want some kind of approval from them. If you have pulled the dog card, there are several questions you need to consider depending on the situation about which you might be asking. Have I recently forgotten that I know my allegiance to my personal truth in life? Have you forgotten that you owe your own allegiance to your own personal truth in life? Is it possible that gossip or the opinions of others have jaded my loyalty to a certain friend or a group? Have I denied or ignored someone who is trying to be my loyal friend? Well, I don't know. They're annoying. They're bugging the crap out of me. But they want to be your loyal friend. Have I been loyal and true to my own personal goals? Can't nobody answer that but you. So, but that's what dog is saying. So now, who's next? I missed. Is Richard out of here? It's good to see you, Pearl Jones. So Susie, that was for you, right? Okay, Isby, you're next. All right. I thought Universal was supposed to be in there somewhere. Did they drop out or Universe something? I don't remember doing them, but I remember them being in there. I think Tracy wanted a card. Am I right or wrong on that one? Isby's next. Ooh, it's 121. Okay. All right, everybody. If you got a 20 marker, I'm ready. I could use a short break. And which moon wants one? That's right. Well, I've been here an hour. How many have I done so far? Five, six, seven. I took 10 minutes, and Tracy's after Isby. Okay. You hear a friend, a cricket? The universe wanted one too. I was trying to figure out how many um, per hour, like 5 minutes each, kind of thing, you know. But I yak in between. So, how long does it take me to do a reading? I'm not trying to cut you off. Seven. I was thinking six, but I'll take it. Seven. Well, I'll tell you, just in yakking for a minute, having taken my meds for a couple of weeks now, having been to the doctor a couple of times, now that I'm fitted for this heart monitor for the next 30 days, having observed my own blood pressure and heart rate and so forth, um, it has changed the way I look at life. Not in a scared way, but in a more respectful way or something. I cannot explain it, but it has definitely made me look at stuff just totally different. It's the same thing, but it ain't. And not necessarily bad, but there is some stuff I look at and go, golly, Moses, why did I worry about that? You know, or whatever the situation might be. Oh, fried chicken, macaroni salad. Oh my God, macaroni salad. Um, that sounds good. I haven't had any macaroni salad in a while, and I think I could make that. Thank you, Steve. Amen, my brother. Thank you so much. And rest well. Macaroni salad. Mmm. I've got macaroni. Mmm. All right, Isby. You too, Steve. All right, Isby. Interesting pull. Porcupine, but the ant is in there um, as in patience. So let's see what porcupine is number 12. Innocence. Porcupine remind me of innocence again, with every man a brother and each woman a friend. The south of the medicine wheel is the place of childlike innocence and humility. It is the home of playfulness and the position of porcupine on the medicine wheel. Porcupine has many special qualities and a very powerful medicine: the power of faith and trust. The power of faith contains within it the ability to move mountains. The power of trust in life involves trusting that the Great Spirit has a divine plan. Your task is to find the pathway that is most beneficial for you and that uses your greatest talents to further that plan. Trust can open doorways to the creation of space. Trust can open doorways to the creation of space. This goes for everybody. The space thus created allows others to open their hearts to you and to share their gifts of love, joy, and companionship. Trust opens doorways to the creation of space. The space thus created allows others to open their hearts to you and to share their gifts. If you were to observe porcupine, you would immediately notice its quills. These quills are only used when trust has been broken between porcupine and another creature. Much like otter, porcupine is a gentle, loving creature and non aggressive. When fear is not present, it is possible to feed a porcupine by hand and never get stuck by its quills. Through understanding the basic nature of this animal, you may come to understand your own need for trust and faith and for becoming like a child again. In today's society, this is a needed reminder to honor the wonder of life and the appreciation of each new day as an adventure of discovery. Now, there's a story of Porcupine playing with a hollow log. And just as Porcupine was pondering what next to do with the log, she saw Bear. Bear was big and black and looking for honey. Oh, another playmate to share my log, she thought. Hello, Bear, she cooed. You want to play and share my log with me? And the gruff old bear just snorted and said, Porcupine, don't you know I'm too old to play? You're in my way. I'm looking for honey. Go away. Why, Bear, you're never too old to play, she replied. If you forget what it was like to be a cub, you'll always be an impatient and gruff as you are now. So there, nanny nanny boo boo. Bear began to think about what Porcupine had said, and maybe she was right. All the other creatures had run away from Bear in fright. Even the other bears had turned up their noses when he growled at them. This little porcupine was certainly trusting him not to eat her. She even offered to be his friend. The old bear looked at Porcupine and began to feel something move inside of him, and it wasn't his bowels. He started to remember the games he had played as a cub. Joy started to live in him again. Little Porcupine, you had reminded me that in becoming strong and seeking answers, I got caught in trying to be strong and an intellectual. I became afraid of what others might think of me, if I dropped my mask of gruffness. I was afraid they wouldn't take me seriously anymore. You have taught me that in being a fuddy duddy, I was causing others not to care for me. Thank you. I'd love to play with you in this old log. And so it was that Bear became childlike again and learned the innocence of Porcupine. Open your heart to those things that give you joy as a child. Remember the preciousness of fantasy and imagination, and the making of some game or a toy from nothing but scraps. Honor the playfulness of spirit that lets everyone win. Porcupine, innocence. Now, on top of that, Ant was right there, but Ant is all about patience. So that's the answer there. I could read Ant again, but it's all about patience. And, I'm scanning over it. Oh, how about this? Here's trust. If Ant meandered into your spread today, it is time to show a little trust and patience in some life situation. You may have forgotten that you will always receive that which you need at the time you need it most. If it is not on the horizon or just around the next anthill, you may need to use some strategy. How can you put to use your power of creation until it arrives, whatever it is or it means to you? So, patience and remember joyfulness in there. I'm still coughing up white stuff. Okay, Tracy B and then Universe. There's Universe. Shuffle off to Buffalo. How's everybody doing out yonder? I know that I feel a lot safer with this gizmo on me for the next 30 days. I'm glad that the system is trying to help me out. I don't know what all this is going to cost me. That 1 week in the hospital, I got the bill, $49,995 and change for that 1 week. That's more than my property and house is worth. Isn't that a shame? Anyway, okay, Tracy B. That's weird. They said I had the deck upside down. Okay. beaver. Now, interesting, there were two cards that were with it, and one was dog and one was wolf. So the canine would dog is loyalty, and wolf I can't remember, but it was interesting that both of those cards have already been pulled. But they were like, so the dog and the wolf card both mean something to you too, Tracy, is what that means. And but beaver is your main card, and it was upside down. The number is number 22 as far as it's referenced in the book. That's weird. How'd they jump that many pages? Beaver's the builder. Okay, universe and which moon? I gotta have my other glasses. Beaver, teach me to build my dreams, including others too. One mind, one heart, one thought, hearts as one, lessons learned from you. Beaver is the builder. Beaver is the doer in the animal kingdom. Beaver medicine is akin to water and earth energy and incorporates a strong sense of family and home. And that would go with dog loyalty and also with the wolf and the pack. So, family and home. So I could see where the canines as the secondary cards to beaver. Okay. If you were to look at the dams that block woodland streams, you will find several entrances and exits. In building its home, beaver always leaves itself as many alternate escape routes. This practice is a lesson to all of us not to paint ourselves into corners. If we eliminate our alternatives, we dam the flow of experience in our lives. If we eliminate our alternatives, we dam the flow of experience in our lives. A doer is characterized by industriousness, and Beaver knows that limitation cancels productivity. Beaver is armed with very sharp teeth that are capable of felling whole trees. Imagine what those teeth could do to the limbs of a predator. From the rear, beaver is armed with a paddle-like tail that aids in swimming as well as guarding its behind. And they use it to signal each other and also to pack mud. This tiny animal, they're not really tiny, they're pretty big, is well equipped to protect its creation. To understand beaver medicine, you might take a look at the power of working and attaining a sense of achievement. In building a dream, teamwork is necessary. To accomplish a goal with others involves working with the group mind. Group mind constitutes harmony of the highest order. Beaver to me has got like, when they all work together but they don't argue. Um, in building a dream, teamwork is necessary. To accomplish a goal with others involves working with the group mind. The group mind constitutes harmony of the highest order, without individual egos getting in the way. Each partner in the project honors the talents and the abilities of the others and knows how to complete the piece of puzzle that belongs to them. In working well with others, a sense of community is achieved and unity ensues. If fever has appeared in your spirit, it may be time to put your ideas into action or to complete some project that has been neglected. Now, it came in upside down. It, if Beaver has dunked its head underwater and is contrary, you are being asked to open new doors to opportunity and to stay aware. This could also usher in a time of laziness or apathy. Find out what is damming the flow of your energy and remove the impasse. The questions that may arise when Beaver is contrary are these: have I forgotten to allow room in my life for new experiences? Am I willing to work with others? Am I resentful of having to work at all? Do I express my creativity by doing or just dreaming about it? Lots of dreaming going on with some folks. Has my mind created so many obstacles to productivity that I feel like a failure before I begin? Now, this is a common issue with folks. Not that it is your issue, but meditate upon Beaver's determination and willingness to work. Visualize the goal you wish to accomplish and be willing to work with others to achieve that end, whatever that may be. So, how about that for a reading? I like the idea that working with others to achieve a goal, like in doing a play or something, when opening night's over and you made it, and the audience is laughing or clapping or booing or whatever they're supposed to be doing, and that sense of accomplishment, accomplishment, not only individually as a character and a performer, or the light person, or working backstage, or whatever it is, with a sense of group accomplishment that we did it. Man, that's just a powerful feeling right there. And that's just one, but any project where folks work together. So now that was for Tracy B right there, right? Oh, so did that make sense, Tracy? Yeah, the two dogs in there were like, yeah, having to do with pack and loyalty and whatever, but yeah, that was so universe is next. All right, universe, you're gonna have to close your eyes and stick your hand up, because I don't remember pulling the card for you. These other folks, my folks know who they are. So for folks that are new to this, close your eyes for 30 seconds and raise your hand in theory, like here I am, pick you out of a crowd. Okay, do a quick shuffle. One more. Okay. I sometimes why I'm shuffling the cards and they just gave me a little info. It's to change the polarity sometimes, and since like the the wolf and the dog card were like stuck together, and it's like picking up on somebody else's card, because I've, scrolled through so many. Like, ooh, wait a minute, no, I pulled this card for somebody else, but like the dog card and the other and the wolf card, they really went with the beaver card. All right, universe, this one's for you, and it's hummingbird. Number 44, and it's upside down. It's in the back of the book. Hummingbird is joy. Hummingbird, joyful little sister, nectar you crave. All of the sweetness of the flowers is the love that you gave. Hummingbird is associated with the ghost shirt religion, which taught that a certain dance run properly would bring about the return of the animals and that white people would disappear. Once again, the original people would know the joy of the old ways. In Mayan teachings, Hummingbird is connected to the black sun and the fifth world. Hummingbird can give us the medicine to solve the riddle of the contradiction of duality. The song of Hummingbird awakens the medicine flowers. Hummer sings a vibration of pure joy. Flowers love Hummingbird because nectar sucking brings about the reproduction of their families. Plants flower and live because of Hummingbird. Hummingbird can fly in any direction. Hummingbird can also hover in one spot and appear to be motionless. Great Spirit created Hummingbird to be slightly different than other creatures. Because of their magical qualities, hummingbird feathers have been used for a millennium in the making of love charms. If a hummingbird is in your personal medicine, your love life, you love life and its joys. Your presence brings joy to others. You join people together in relationship, which brings out the best of them. You know instinctively where beauty abides, and near or far, your journey uh, to your ideal. You move comfortably within a beautiful environment and help others taste the succulent nectar of life. If Hummingbird has flown into your cards, get ready to laugh musically and enjoy Creator's many gifts. Drop your judgmental attitude and relax. Hummingbird will no doubt give you a flash of the spirit, darting here and there and everywhere. Get ready for a strange new burst of energy which may send your senses reeling. Hummingbird hears celestial music and is in harmony with it. Hummingbird may invite you to an art museum or a concert. Hummingbird energetically embraces the highest aesthetics. Follow Sister Hummingbird, and you will soon be filled with the paroxysms of joy and experience a renewal of the magic of living. So that is for universe. So, well, Steve's gone to bed. I can do him a reading, and it's Pearl out there. I realize I'm getting tired, and I'm good for a couple more. But I took all my which moon? Yes, yes, yes. That was an easy one. Butterfly, which moon? Transformation. I'm getting a cramp. Butterfly that flutters in the morning light. You have known many forms before you e'er took flight. Butterfly is about transformation. It is akin to the air. It is the mind and the ability to know the mind or to change it. It is the art of transformation. To use butterfly medicine, you must astutely observe your position in the cycle of self transformation. Like butterfly, you are always at a certain station in your life activities. You may be at the egg stage, which is the beginning of all things. This is a stage at which an idea is born, but has not yet become a reality. The larva stage, which is the point at which you decide to create the idea into the physical world. The cocoon stage involves going within, doing or developing your project, your idea, or the aspect of personality, whatever you're working on. The final stage of transformation is the leaving of the chrysalis and birth. This last step involves sharing the colors and joy of your creation with the world. You open your wings and fly. If you look closely at what Butterfly is trying to teach, you will realize that it is the never ending cycle of self transformation. The way to discern where you are in this cycle is to ask yourself, is this the egg stage? Is this just a thought or an idea? Is this the larval stage? Do I need to make a decision? Is this the cocoon stage? Am I developing and doing something to make my idea a reality? Or is this the birth stage? Am I sharing my completed idea? By asking yourself these questions, you will discover how butterfly is relating to you at this moment. When you understand where you are, the symbol can teach you what to do next to continue the cycle of self transformation. If you if you have found a position through which you are cycling, you will see the creativity of butterfly. In other words, if you may be thinking that you're in the cocoon stage when actually you're still in the second stage. So you can jump ahead, and sometimes you end up going backwards, or you're in the cocoon too long because you're in the wrong stage. Using the air or mental powers of this medicine is done with ease. As an example, if you have been feeling exhausted and have asked how to heal your fatigue, take notice of the colors that you've been drawn to recently. Does your body feel better in green? Could this mean that you need to eat more green vegetables? This type of thinking is an inspiration from butterfly medicine, but don't overdo it. Some people, oh, it's red, so it's this, and oh, there's purple over there, and yeah. Butterfly can give clarity to your mental process, help you organize the project you are undertaking, and assist you in finding the next step for your personal life or your career. The main message to be obtained from drawing this symbol is that you are ready to undergo some type of transformation. It says you're ready. To discern what your next move is, use the butterfly spread. So figure out which of the four stages that you may be in. And if you're not sure, then meditate on it, because it can make a lot of difference. And here's the thing. So say, using myself as an example, I was going to school to become a mechanical engineer using CAD, computer aided drafting. So, but while I was doing that, I was also working as a handyman of sorts for 150 different rental properties. If it was a stopped up commode or a sink or whatever it was my job to go over and try to fix it if possible. And normally I did 95% of the time. Hey, Cadmus. So, how you do your job, okay, and there are different stages. And well, I just started working there. Well, I've worked there for 6 months, and now you get into a stage where you're comfortable with something. And if you get a call that on Jones Street somebody's having a problem, you've been to Jones Street before, you've been there. And so, but what that does is that you can have different stages of your life working at the same time. I'm going to school, and so I'm learning things, and there are stages within my schooling. But when I get out of school, I'm going to my job, and I'm learning things about how to do quick fixes and how to know to get before I even get to the house. So, you can have different transformations going on in your life simultaneously. Okay. And one might be in the egg stage, and another one might be in the cocoon stage. Okay. So it's not just about one thing that you should look at. If you have multiple things going on in your life, then you have multiple butterfly stages. Okay, just wanted to point that out. No, I don't think I'm dehydrated, Jules. I've been sitting in this chair now for 4 hours with only getting up to go and get something to drink. So I got a cramp because I've been sitting in this chair for 4 hours. Okay, I know I got somebody. Pearl's next. Okay, all right. I gotta say, there's been an interesting spread in the cards tonight. I mean, there's only been a couple of repetitions. I mean, even showing up to me like, but the message I'm getting is that some of these cards mean a little something to all y'all. Of course, you already know that, I think. And I'm always humble and grateful to the spirits to allow me to do this. Um, so who was the butterfly for? Did it make sense? Miss Pearl, you don't have to raise your hand. They, my folks are like, hey, we know who she is. Yeah, me too, Jules. I do too. All right, Miss Pearl, this one's for you. Now, this is interesting, and made me pull the other card. But the main one that they want is elk number 3. But interestingly enough, and I have shuffled these cards quite a few times, turned them and and done the thingy. So they wanted me. I pulled the elk card, which is upside down, and they said, "Now pull the next one next to it," because sometimes when I feel the cards, you're not sure if it's this one or that one, and looking at it, sometimes I go, "Nah, not this one. It's that one." Okay. So, but the next other card is deer, which is innocence, which is the melted the demon's heart going up to Spirit Mountain to talk to the Creator. And I'm like, but it's the fact that elk is number 3 and deer's number 4. So they're not only are they side by side, but they're also in numerical order in the book. And I'm like looking at them going, okie doke. Elk is, we know that being upside down doesn't mean that it's bad. It means it's different. Elk. Elk is stamina. Elk, your antlers reach for the sun. Show me that strength and stamina are one. Elk wandered through the forest looking for a partner. The mating season was in full swing, and the bucks that usually travel with the other males have dispersed to find mates for the season. As Elk bellowed his mating call through the forest, his bugling alerted Mountain Lion that a feast could be in the making. So Mountain Lion circled Elk, getting closer to his prey moment by moment. Elk sensed the impending danger when the forest grew suddenly silent. He broke for the high country when he spotted his pursuer, but Mountain Lion was far behind. As Elk made a running leap for the timberline, Mountain Lion gained on him, but Elk continued to run onward, displaying tremendous stamina. Finally, Mountain Lion gave up, having spent his energy in spurts as he tried to jump over boulders to reach the elk. Elk paced himself, making headway as he climbed skyward toward the high country. Elk had no other defense except his ability to go the distance, setting a pace that allowed him to utilize his stamina and his energy to the fullest. Elk medicine teaches that pacing yourself will increase your stamina. Elk medicine people may not be the first ones to arrive at a goal, but they always arrive without getting burned out. If you've taken on too much recently, it may be a good idea to look at how you plan to finish what you've started without ending up in the hospital. Now, elk is upside down. If elk has appeared in the reverse position, you may be stretching the rubber band base to the breaking point. Be careful of undue stress levels, or you might just create an illness to force you to take a break. On another level, you may not be honoring your desire for companionship with the opposite sex, and you may have forgotten the excitement of mating season. If this is the case, you may find that your best option is to invite friends of the opposite sex for dinner or an afternoon outing. This is not to say that you would be sexually interested in those friends. It is merely suggesting that the exchange of opposite energies could be rewarding. So it ain't always about sex, but it is about sharing with opposites. If you're in a relationship, it may be that the honeymoon is waning and you need to stir up some excitement. Persistently creating a change of pace is a kind of stamina needed for any relationship to last. In all case, Elk is telling you to look at how you choose to create your present pathway and how you intend to perpetuate it to reach your goal. Your best weapon is the same as Elk's, is to stop when you need to persist when you need to, and to allow room for change and the exchange of energies when necessary. So there you go, Miss Pearl. Now, the next one is dear, gentleness. Fawn was called to the top of Sacred Mountain, and she didn't know that a terrible demon guarded the way to the Great Spirit's lodge. The demon tried everything to scare this fawn away. He wanted all of Great Spirit's creatures to feel the Great Spirit didn't want to be disturbed. This would make the demon feel powerful and capable of causing them to fear. Fawn was frightened, and as the demon was trying to frighten her, Fawn, however, said gently to the demon, "Please let me pass. I'm on the way to see Great Spirit." Fawn's eyes were filled with love and compassion for this oversized bully of a demon. The demon was astonished by Fawn's lack of fear and gentleness. No matter how he tried, he could not frighten the fawn because of her love had penetrated his hardened, ugly heart. Much to the demon's dismay, his hard heart began to melt and his body shrank to the size of a walnut. Due to this gentleness and caring that Fawn embodied, the pathway is now clear for all Great Spirit's children to reach Sacred Mountain without having to feel the demons of fear blocking their way. I just love that sentence right there. It's paved through the gentleness of deer and the stamina of elk. So there you go, Miss Pearl. And everybody else, if you will have a little bit of stamina and pace yourself, and with the gentleness of deer, I love the deer card. I do. I mean, it just because for me, see, it tells everybody, listen, all y'all can get to Sacred Mountain. All y'all can hear, communicate with the Great Spirit. All y'all can have this. It's right there all the time. But if you're fearing of the demons and the things and stuff, then, it blocks you from getting there. And the thing is that guess what? It's not blocked. It's our own fears and so forth that make it blocked, for those folks who, you know. But anyway, I love the deer card. And it's been 2 hours. It's 2:11 a.m. in the morning time. This will be 4 hours that I've been on because I was on for 2 hours with Robert V on his show, and I'll be here 2 hours with you all now. So, um, unless there's somebody else that was on the list, I'm tired. If there's somebody else that I've missed, Pearl, Witch Moon, Steve went to bed. I have passed over him, but I'll catch him next time. Oh, Susie, I'm getting too much rest. I have been resting up, and my neighbor had brought over an old air conditioner, and we stuck it down here in this end of the building, and it's been cool in the mornings. It's been cool in the afternoons as well, but it's taken the moisture out of the air. It's been easier for me to breathe. Uh, After having heart attacks, and um, I'm glad that my body mass uh, is not worse than it is. I'm like at 24.7, and at 25, you're at the lower edges of being obese. And I look at myself in the mirror and go, I'm obese? Seriously? I mean, I guess I got to start somewhere, but 175 pounds at 5'11". But anyway, so my body mass is good. My blood pressure has calmed down through the medicines. I just need to figure out how to purchase some of these that are so expensive. But as far as resting, yep, what I'm trying to do is get active again. So I've done a little weed eating in the yard. I finished some concrete out here that I was working on when I got sick before I went to the hospital, and I kept tripping over the hole and everything. And finally, the other day, I said, I got to find out. I'm sick of this walking in the hole. I'm sick of the 7 bags of cement in the back of my truck, and I mixed them up and poured them out. Now let me tell you, when I poured that last bag of cement, I that was it. I was like, that was way too much, and I was stumbling and very glad uh, that I couldn't have done another bag. And so I just ran out of energy. About an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours in total. But in that time, I came in here and sat down and hooked myself up to my machine, and my pulse rate was good, my BP was good. So I was like, okay. And now it's done. I'm not tripping over the hole anymore. So I'm finding little things to do that 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Go outside. I got a flower bed that I was working on before I went to the hospital, and it got weeded over. So I go out there and spend, you know, 30 minutes out there in the early morning and pull some weeds. Duggar and I go walking in different places, and I'm checking on some things. So I've got, oh, I don't know if you can, how well you can see him, but you see those? These are my grapes. We call them bulluses, the big purple jobbies. I mean, they look like marbles, you know, but boy, are they tasty. So I've been going around picking my muscadine. and yum yum. Unfortunately, there's not. I'm going to eat them all before I could save them. Quite frankly, like I'd share with somebody some of these grapes, but they ain't going to make it through a jelly or a pie. I'm going to eat them before they get that far. Oh, is it 20 after? Almost. Yeah, I go out there and I'm like, ooh, let me get a bag and I'll take some in the house. No, I'm they're in my mouth and I'm chewing on them and enjoying them right on the spot. So y'all come and I'll share, but if you don't make it, I'm not saving. First come, first serve, you know. But boy, are they good. Mm-hmm. I wish there was more of them. So Duggar and I have been walking around the edges of the field. Look, there's plenty of grapevines, but only the female grapevines produce grapes. So there are a lot of males with nothing to show. But some of these grapevines, there'll be a female tucked in between two males, and if you don't look, the grapes are hung up underneath. So you can walk by a big bunch of grapevines that are covering over the trees and up, I mean, 20, 30 feet in the air, right? And there's this one that's back over here in the bus, and there'll be a clump of grapes that are like 10, 15 feet up over your head. They're just sitting there, you know, can't get to them. So what you do is you watch the ground and pick them up off the ground. Because if they've just fallen, um, it's easy to brush the bugs off and or spit on them and wipe them off and eat them. You know, if you know, there's some of them that are questionable. That if there's enough of them, then I put them in a bag and they turn into wine or a jelly. But this year they're really tasty and they're really good, and we've had just enough rain. It rained here, well, this morning actually. It's funny as hell to me anyway. Travis, good morning. Um, I'm watching the weather from Tallahassee last night, and they're saying, "Oh, this round of showers will be coming in late in the evening, about 2 or 3, 4 o'clock in the morning." Blah blah blah, and it shows coming down through Georgia, down through Macon, and and Cordele, and heading towards us, and it shows it splitting up when it gets down here towards us, here in Colquitt County. Well, there's a ridge of there's a plateau called the Pelham Escarpment that's just west of me. I mean, it's flat, all right, a little bit of hilly, but it's mostly flat. And the fronts will come through and won't be affected by that flat. But when you get over here towards me, it gets hilly, and somehow it breaks up the air. And there are storms and rain showers that'll literally just split up and pass. It'll rain east and west of us, but it'll just leave us alone. Well, this morning this cloud, big, I mean, thunder and lightning and rain, um, was in the path of where on the radar last night it showed was going to be empty. This morning, it was the only place that had a thunderstorm. All of Colquitt County in that space that normally we don't get any rain, it was there was no rain east or west of us. It was just, and I mean, it was thundering and lightning. Woke me and the dog both up, but he crawled up in the bed with me because he don't like them big thunder boomers. And went outside to see how my concrete work had done. And there was a crash of a lightning that was really close by. I mean, I opened up the door and it was like flash. It took about a second and a half for it to go boom. But holy crap in a bag. I mean, lit up everything. It was really close by. But yeah, but nobody east or west of us got any rain. And I find that humorous, in that that doesn't happen very often. But yeah, so we had rain this morning. I mean, it's a good half inch of rain in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I mean, it stormed and then just went by. You never know what Mother Nature's going to throw at you. And for those times that I was like, man, we ain't getting nothing, 4:30 this morning, crash, boom, rain everywhere, going nuts. So I love it. It's such an adventure. I mean, honest to goodness, there are people who complain, oh, it's always too hot, it's always too cold, it's always too this, it's always too that. Well, in my almost 70 years now, but I'll be hitting that 70 mark soon. Um, that's the one thing we can count on is changes. The hurricanes I've lived through, the storms, the tornadoes, the two near misses right here at my own house where the tornado went right over the house twice, different years, but, wreaked havoc on my neighbor's barns up there. And, not counting the other storms and things and stuff that, we've lived through and floods. Oh my God, the backyard that's flooded up so high that stayed for weeks, you know, uh, and all of the things that Mother Nature, oh my God, we're all going to die. And we're still here, you know. I have been caught myself in a flash flood in my own backyard where a dam had burst way further north and water started coming up. I mean, it was just like, what? Plus, there was like a 2 or 3 inch rainfall that night. And I literally watched the water come up to my chest. And I was down in the back. They had just cut all the trees out. And there were trees coming downstream from my neighbor's property and had hit me and knocked me underwater. I was in, 3 feet of water, roughly up to my waist, and had gotten knocked over by a log, a full size tree that's 40 feet long, and is being pushed by a river that is starting to literally come out of its banks and flood. And I was like 50 yards back here in the back behind the house and damn near drowned right there that day. Just not knowing, you know, ooh, look, I'll go out here while the water's coming up. And it kept coming up and it kept coming up. And then the log started moving. And I was, flash flood. Yeah. But then there's being in the car too, flash floods and folks that have got pushed over in ditches. So water is powerful. They'll move boulders and trees and stumps, and there'll be something that would be on the bank of the river, and then it flood, and it'll end up a half mile downstream. And you're like, what? How did this big ass log, this big root, this big heavy duty get moved from here? Because we were planning on pulling some of them out of the river, and I have pulled some of these. oh, there some of these root balls and the stumps. They're they they're art pieces of artwork in and of themselves. And I've got some of them up here, and I've pulled a bunch of them out of the river over the years. We were selling these stumps to folks who had uh, uh, little ponds in their backyard as for landscaping their, their their home backyard ponds. But anyway, um, some of them just to look at them, just what nature did to the root or the the butt of a tree or to limbs or whatever, and how the sand has carved them out and changed and formed them. It's just amazing what Mother Nature has. And down on the river, some of these big, huge cypress trees with these great big gnarly trunks and everything. They're just amazing. But you can't get them off the river. They're big and heavy. I've smoked more tonight than I have in several days, and so, but I feel like I'm sitting around the room with my friends and passing the bowl and just having a chat, and just hanging out with y'all, feels good. It just does. After everything I've been through, and I know y'all go through stuff yourself, and I try my best not to make this about myself. But boy, what a learning experience this mess has been, and um, I'm hoping, that I can live within the parameters and hang out for a few more years. But where before I felt sort of invincible, I realized that, you know, um, I've played the invincible card. I'm just getting old. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How dog close I came to taking a showing up dirt nap. Okay, Bob, we got some jittering going on. Um, that it, and then having my first wife pass away last week with similar condition and had a massive stroke that wiped her out. But having had, you know, heart surgery and so many things to her, and not speaking badly of her, but she had given up on, I'm just not going to make it through this, and I've had a good life, and this time, screw that mess. Every time I talked to her, I was like, you got to quit with that nonsense. So have my condition is similar to hers, um, and I have no. I'm trying to plan on when the next time I can get on the river with my canoe. I'm working out a deal so I don't have to lift it over my head to get it back on the truck. To where a friend of mine has an old boat trailer I can fix up for next to nothing and put my canoe on it, so I can tow it behind my truck easily. Not worrying about having to get it over my head. Me and Duggar can go canoeing a lot. You know, if I get this trailer. No, when I get this trailer. So, which is going to make it a whole lot easier for me because there's more room, and also I'm getting my trolling motor to go on it, so we can go paddling without paddling so much if I get tired. So the whole thing is a win-win. But the idea that No, just because I'm wearing this heart monitor or because I've had a heart attack that somehow I should stop doing stuff. Nah, nah. I'm going to have to be like the elk. See, stamina, how to pace yourself, you know? So there are a lot of messages in there for me too, like, all right, Dave, well, I know I got to pace myself. I'm just because I'm getting older, I get tired easier, and yeah, and pacing yourself is always a good thing. In running track and in sports, and you work that stamina, so you can pace yourself. You can be on the field for 4 quarters and still be able to stand up without leg cramps. Having played football myself, I know what that's like. And running track, and being able to, pace yourself even at a high speed. Because I was a quarter mile runner, a 440, 440 yards or whatever that is in meters. But anyway, um, couldn't run a half mile, but I could run a quarter mile. Then I could run a quarter mile. So the first time I broke a minute running a quarter mile, I was like, what? I can run a quarter of a mile in less than a minute. And coach used to call me crazy legs because of the way I ran them. Yeah. Um, but as a 14-year-old, I could run a quarter mile in 56 seconds. 56 seconds. Now, I don't care who you are. I mean, there are folks who are running 45 seconds, and it's almost absurd how fast they're running. But for me, and I look at my life and I think I used to be able to do that without really understanding what it meant, that I could run a quarter mile in under a minute, period, under a minute. Ooh, and then I find out that my best time was like 55 or 54 seconds for a quarter mile. That 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 league is short, as to how many people, now for every year that goes by that people run in that area, there's more people in this small band of runners. But for a while there, back in the '60s and into the '70s and '80s, if you could break a minute in high school track and stuff, if you could break a minute and run in the '50s, you were really doing something. And even in college, there was a guy that broke like 49 seconds running a quarter mile. That is picking him up and putting him down, brother. you know, Talk about having stamina in that. But to the point though, that to be able to say, and I mean, and I don't have to stretch it. I'm I'm on the Hall of Fame at Tampa Catholic because we won the state track meet that year. And so, no, I got proof that I could run that fast. But what it does is it gives me confidence that even at my age, I can still run. I might not be able to run far, but I can still run. And I can run across the yard a little bit with Duggar and play. I can still run at 70 years old. Now, there are a lot of folks at 70 who are running and playing softball and stuff like that. There are guys who are 70 years old that can play 18 rounds of golf. I can't. So there are some folks that are in a lot better physical shape than I am, but I don't know if they have been through as many physical traumas and operations with necks and backs and legs and broken bones and stuff. I don't know. Because, if my back wasn't so messed up, I could last longer, standing up or whatever. But now, if you're going to ride around in a golf cart, I could go 18 round. I could do 18 holes. But if you're going to ask me to walk it, nah. I'm going to have to ride. That's the answer to that. So, but um, no, I intend to get stronger than I am at the moment because an hour's worth of activity is like blowing me away. So I want to get to where I can pace myself and do a little longer. I want to get back on the river really bad. So anybody out there, the invitation's open. Let's go to the river. It fall's coming up. I've got my birthday wish is to go down the Withlacoochee River, and if nobody's going to go with me, me and Doug are going to go by. I'm going to go one. I'm going one way or the other. So anyway, um, you can do it in about 15 minutes. Run how far? I missed that. But anyway, no, it's an accomplishment of being physical in my life that I can go. I used to be able to run a quarter mile in under a minute. Can you believe that shit? But also knowing um, that I can still trot across the yard. I can run a short distance with Duggar, and I can still run. You know, do like wind sprints. I can only do a couple of them, but I can still do them. So now I can understand why um, I want to go back to doing some wind sprints. You know, you run 20 feet, 30 feet, just as fast as you can, and you stop. And you turn around and then you run back. And it's not very far, and you just sprint these short distances. And it's not a it will get your heart rate up, but it's a good way to be able to do short spurts and learn to keep your heart rate down. So you can go all out for a short distance, um, but not push your heart rate up. And it's one of the things that I think I need to learn because, here recently, I'll tell you what, I'm sitting here not doing nothing and fixing to get off. Been 2 hours and 24 minutes on this one. I'm going to do my, been nice hanging out with y'all. It's time to do my blood pressure. So while y'all are here, put my little device on while we're chitty chatting, and see how I'm doing. Been writing it down for the doctor at Dr. Upong's office, and having an official log diary. What I'm most curious about is oh crap, whoa, I need to do that again. 143 over 84, and my pulse rate 64, but I had my legs crossed. I got to do it again. Yeah, you're not supposed to cross your legs, and I did. Okay. And I was running my mouth. 144 over 81, and my pulse is 64. So the 81's a little high, but 64. So that's what I'm worried about with my heart rate, as long as it stays down. So I've been out and moving around. Earlier today, it was 40, 48 was my pulse rate. So the fact that it's 64 now is not really a big deal. I'm sitting here and being active and, and chatting and doing this. So, I would expect it to be up a little bit. Um, there's a critter outside. But anyway, your ass ain't running nowhere. Good night, Chloe. Yeah, thank you for hanging out with us. Yep. Hope the cards did good tonight, y'all. So I thank the creator and I thank the spirits. I thank my folks up there for being able to give me the gift to be able to pull the cards for y'all tonight. I feel very blessed in that. I want to make sure that my humility is there because I can't do it without the help of my angel guardians and friends and spirit guides. And I'm glad that you all can trust what the cards they give you. Um, Me not knowing most of you personally, they feel right, you know, um, and I listen when they want me to repeat something or make put emphasis on something. So I hope it does do y'all some good. I do enjoy doing it. It does um, take some energy out of me to do it, and I don't regret it. I'm not asking for sympathy or whatever, but it does make me tired. Um, but I gotta say, it's a good tired because it's a feeling of accomplishment. It's like working with a group, and if the cards that I pull mean something for you, and it helps in any way, in whatever way it does, then I feel that as part of the group, then I'm pulling my weight. I'm doing something. I'm helping to show the way spiritually, or give confidence, or whatever's necessary. Sometimes, you know, um, we just need a kick in the butt, or sometimes we need to sit our butt down. You know. Um, and take a like butterfly, just in the what stage are you in? You know, um, it's a valid question for any of us to ask. Okay, so in my stage of life, you know, I'm 70. Um, I've got a heart monitor. I never thought I'd be wearing. I've been had a heart. So of course there's going to be some reevaluations on my part. So what am I going to do about this? So going to work it out. That's how. That's what. you know. I don't know yet all the ins and outs, and I'm not worried about it. Maybe I should be, but no. Um, because tomorrow's another day. I've made it up to this point through all the rigmarole. Um, Working on details for the medicines and which is right or wrong, blah blah blah. So I'm sure it'll work itself out one way or the other. Um, but I think the main thing is to have a plan. To not give in. the other day I was a little pissed and miffed and so forth, and I felt like giving in. And for a few hours the other day, I did give in. I just said, hell with it. I ain't going to think about it. I'm just going to sit here and pack me a bowl and smoke me a cigarette, and the hell with it. And after that little bit of moping, I realized that, okay, this is enough, woe is me, pity on me, blah, blah, blah. Now we need a plan. And am working on one, where I thought it was going to be difficult to keep up with my meds. I've worked out this thing. I got one more pill to take before I go to bed here shortly. But it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. It's you take it before you go to bed. That's all. Um, it almost sounds like rain outside. The frogs are sure croaking. But so anyway, but in life though, that no matter what the curveball is, it's like, okay, gonna have to do the workaround. Um, I can sit here and mope about it. That would really be useless and worthless and all that. It has, not necessarily put the fear of God in me, but I realize that how short life really is for me now at 70. It's like, you ain't going to live forever, bro. And here's just one example, you know. Okay, that was close, you know. That was a close one. So, but it's okay. Now I know how I can avoid and go around and take a deep breath, you know. Uh, but what I would like to accomplish now, like for real, and to have that discussion with some folks in an open manner, because I would still like to see trails here. I would still like to put in a bridge back yonder. I would still like to be able to get to my camp down on the river. There are certain things that I still want to be able to do here. And regardless of what my health condition is, I'm still going to work on that. I still would like for people to be able to come, and if they need a place to go sit in the woods and contemplate for a while, or whatever, or maybe come down during hunting season and go hunting, you know, or whatever it may be, or just come down to just sit and have a fire and just have a chat, you know. So that's why the sign's at the top of my driveway, the Little Clockney River Hermitage. And I need to fix the sign. It's kind of fallen over. Um, but I don't want to give up on that. So that's still one of my goals. And so I'm just going to have to work. I say worry. I got to get a better lawnmower type situation than I have right now. And I've kind of let it slip off to one side. But now with my heart condition and affirmative, I really want to keep the place up. And so I'm going to have to think more about, honestly, getting a lawnmower fixed and doing something. And, instead of working over here or doing that, I need to focus on this a little more or whatever. So I need to rearrange my planning a little bit, because am getting older and now I got a heart condition. So where I was snubbing fixing the lawnmower, now I'm looking at it going, I think I'm going to need a lawnmower. The reconsideration of like, yeah, I think I really do need a lawnmower. I don't need to be, yeah, because now I can use it to ride on. And now that I'm getting older, yeah, I think I should rethink the lawnmower thing. Um, Because I've got three riding lawnmowers here on my property in various degrees of not working. And I should be able to get at least one of them working. That's it. See? So, and I haven't done it. And I've talked about it before, and I let it slide because this was working out, and blah blah blah. Well, that didn't work out this summer, and some other things. And now that so I mentioned this in that what I was have put off for the last couple of years, I see now as nah. By this time next year, there's going to be a lawnmower running, you know, and it might be that that's something I work on during the winter when it's cooler outside and the gnats are gone, and um, it you want to be outside because it's so nice. Oh, two goats. Yeah, but you know what, Pearl? That would be great, except you got to fence them son of guns in, and I couldn't fence them in. Uh, I've got some fencing and some wire and stuff, but oh Lord have mercy, no. I could stake them out, but I just I've had goats before. Other people have had goats, and I've been to their place and helped them, and they were really nice, but I wouldn't want to bring them home. Although they could keep my backyard just as clean as as a whistle, um, they get out and get away too easy, and there's no real way to like fence them in without just a crap load of trouble. And now, if somebody had a couple of goats they just wanted to turn loose in my backyard, okay, you know. But I got deer for that. And on a closing note, um, me and Duggar were looking out the window the last week, and about 100, less than 100 feet to out yonder was a big buck, at least a four-pointer. Had fuzz on his antlers. His antlers was still growing, and so and stood just as proud. I got Duggar to be quiet, and we looked out the window, and he turned and just stood there, and I'm like, he's in the yard, man. He's like in the yard, staring at the house, and he just looked around and didn't see us move, and we didn't make any noise, and he just walked on down. But I mean, the fact that they're like literally standing in the yard, but it's one thing to walk here in the back, a few feet in the back and see them in the woods, but for them to, whoa, what is it, Doug? Oh, there's something mean. All right, well, I'm gonna go check and see what's outside, and I'm gonna leave you, good people. It has been 2 hours and 40 minutes. I love you all. It has been great. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for all the prayers. I continue to pray that each and every day that each and every one of you will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings from the universe. You're welcome, Jules. Pearl, you too. Travis, Isby, good to see you out there. Love you all too. Cosmic hugs, okay? And y'all keep up the good work that you're doing too, honestly. And there's a lot of stuff that we can still continue to do. The simple act of kindness is still very powerful. And that I'll be around to remind everybody, hey, remember, a smile and being kind is still a very powerful thing, tool at our disposal. And I will continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you your friends, your family will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings in the universe. And in that law of three, which is so cool to me, I will continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, and all them folks you may know, past, present, and future, will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many, 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 many wonderful blessings in the universe. So stay out of the chaos. Remember to be that compassionate observer. Always be the compassionate observer and keep yourself out of the chaos, my friends. And until next time, I love you all. Cheers. Remember, Dante said that the uh, the ARB book number 2 coming out, and he goes, "Oh, it's a little been, we got a war going on over there." So for those of you of the Silent 72 plus, remember, there's a war going on over there, and be patient. Dante and friends still need our prayers. They're fighting one hell of a war over there. So I love you all until next time. Cheers. Be safe. Me and Doug are going to go see what's outside at the night time.